Good morning, and happy Thursday. This week is going very fast, as usual. It's already November 3rd. Can you believe it? I still can't believe it's November because the weather outside is not November weather whatsoever. We are supposed to be in the mid 60s today. By the weekend in Pennsylvania, it's going to be about 75. And that is not usual for November weather whatsoever. So it should be interesting to see. Bugs are going to be coming out again. That's what happens. We even have some trees around here. It has been so warm that there are some trees and plants that are reblooming and have bloomed because the weather has been so warm. It's like they started to go dormant, and then the next thing you know, they're blooming again. I don't know what that'll mean for spring, because now those blooms will be killed off when it does get cold. And will they bloom again in spring? I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy the weather while it's here because I love warm weather. I don't like cold. So I'm just going to take advantage of it this weekend. All right, let's see here. Yesterday's journal page. So yesterday was offer to God a sacrifice of thanksgiving. It was Psalms 50:14. So if you get my Draw Near Daily, this is the picture that was in the files. I put a link up yesterday for it for you. It's in the sheet that has all of the different files that we'll be using that I give you in the Draw Near Daily group. The download, the monthly download. So that was the one that I used. I'm hoping to come up with something similar for today's. I haven't decided what picture I'm going to use with it. We'll see what I end up doing. Good morning. I've got several of you on this morning. Let me know who's here. Okay, so yesterday I also and told you before that let me go and get this page out of here. So I am working also on my Grateful, Thankful, Blessed booklet. And I told you yesterday that you can purchase this, and I can mail it out just in an envelope, and it's available on my website. Good morning, Melinda. Good to see you here. So yesterday, the question that I picked to go in my journal, in my thankful journal, I have a different journal for this one, is think of someone you could bless today and ask God to show you who needs it most and write about the experience. So I kept thinking about that during the day, and I plan to write on this in the evening so that I've had the day to think about what I want to write. And there is a woman at my church who she's single, and she lived with her parents, helped her parents actually. Once they got older, she moved back in with them and helped them until their death. Took care of them, did everything for them. And she's done a lot for the church. And she announced yesterday that she retired from her job. And it was the first day of her retirement. And we were all like, oh, that's so awesome. That makes me so happy. I'm so happy for her. So right there, I thought, I know what I can do. So I made her a card. And I'm not going to mail it out today because what I want to do is I want to find out what her favorite restaurant is and include a gift card in it. So I'm going to call one of her friends today, find out what her favorite restaurant is, and I'm just going to get her a little gift card, and I'm going to stick it in that card, and I'm going to mail it to her. So I just wrote about that today in my journal. Here was yesterday's, here's today's. This is all I'm doing. This didn't even take me 2 minutes to write this. So I really, really encourage you, if you haven't already started, get a copy of this. And it's just super, super quick. There are 50 prompts in here for things that you can show gratitude, thankfulness, and blessings, and pick one out and do it every day. And by the end of whenever you finish them, it's 50 days worth, so it could be the middle of December, or if you miss a couple days, it could be till the end of December. It should make a difference in the way that you see things, the way that you appreciate the holidays, to help take the stress out of things, because when you're thinking about things you're grateful for, how you can bless others, the problems, the stress in your life are lessened. They really are. They really don't seem as important. So I really encourage you, if you can, to take advantage of this and answer those questions once a day. Okay? All right, let's go ahead. A couple more of you joined on. Good morning. Let me know who's here. I love knowing who's here with me while I'm doing the live. So let me know who's on today. Okay, so today's scripture on the 3rd is Psalm 26, verses 6 and 7. Let me see here. I want to make sure in case somebody else works. Okay, there you go. So today's scripture is, I wash my hands in innocence and go about your altar, Lord, proclaiming aloud your praise and telling of all your wonderful deeds. So in the verses leading up to today's verse, David was stating his faithfulness to God, and he describes several ways in his life that he demonstrated that he lived in faith. He didn't associate with hypocrites or evildoers or what he called the wicked. David knew who he wanted to associate with. Now, as king, that was a whole lot easier to say no to spending time with people that he considered wicked. He could just say, no, I don't want to see them. No, he had that right to do it. But we don't always have the same control over who we spend time with, do we? We're thrown into work situations, friends of friends, parents of our kids, or grandparents of our kids. I'm sure we've all had to deal with being in a group with others who aren't the best of influences on us. And it can be so easy to be drawn into gossip or laughing at jokes that you wouldn't tell in church, or even you could be following people on social media that don't have such a great reputation. What we love is a great indicator of our relationship with God. 1 Corinthians 15:33 tells us that evil company corrupts good habits. So David goes on in today's lesson, and he is saying that he was washing his hands of innocence. He didn't believe he was sinless or perfect, but he did feel he needed to wash his hands, and he could do it in the innocence of a clear conscience before God. David was referring to the purification of a priest when he goes through before he could approach the altar. So anytime David did anything wrong, he would stay close to God. He would make sure that he confessed his sins and that his attitude was pure. He would even give thanks for when he was treated badly, because he said that brought him closer to God and made him more reliant on God. Wow. Praising and thanking God when someone does something to hurt us is not something I usually want to do, especially not right as it's happening or right afterwards. But when situations happen to us that hurt us, and they will, we need to talk to God about them. We need to remember that He is faithful to us, and don't listen to the others who tell us that you should be retaliating against them. Wash your hands, keep them clean, and keep your heart thankful. And God will honor you with that. All right? Okay, let me know what you thought of today's scripture lesson. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? Let me know what you thought of today's scripture lesson. What you thought of it. Let me know just how it affected you. What do you do when somebody does you wrong? Do you wash your hands of it and move on? Or sometimes do you stew about it? I'm guilty of being one who feels like I need to vent to somebody about how I was wronged, and then I usually let it go. I'm not one to retaliate. But that venting part should not be, it should be to God. And tell Him how you feel, but then ask for forgiveness for how you feel. And ask Him to wash you of that. Okay? Alrighty. Let's see here. If you're watching this on replay, make sure that you type in replay. There have been so many of you that have been watching the videos on replay. during the day, and I really, really appreciate it when you let me know that you've done that, because then we know how, if this is something you want me to continue doing, which I love doing, but I don't want to do it if you don't want me to. Okay, so make sure you heart the video, and we will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a very, very blessed day.